This computer. All right, if you're just coming on, just mute. Okay, guys, welcome to our Thursday night call. Those of you, some of you, we have some new people on tonight. I'm Michael Huey, and this is my wife, Lisa. We are Pro Sevens here in Safety Harbor, Florida. I almost said
yes, and you're 49.
And I'm 49, yes. and so we are excited to share with you guys tonight. I get excited about all the calls, but coming off an event, I get super, super excited. And so I hope that you guys are, as a lot of you guys who were in Orlando are as excited about the future of LifeVantage and where we're going. And like I said, if you're just coming on, just mute yourself. Even if you're speaking later, I'll unmute you. But what we're going to do tonight is we're going to talk about a couple different things. But I'm going to start, and then I'm going to turn some things over to Lisa, and then I'm going to come back. I want to talk about this registration for life. And before we get started, if you have a pencil and a piece of paper, you're going to need to highlight some things, because at the end, I am going to have, I'm going to have a little bit of a drawing, and I don't know if you guys have seen, but all of the swag from our Elite Academy in Orlando is now on the website. Well, the majority of the shirts are on the website. The biohacking shirts, all of the new stuff. Let me just rephrase. All of the new stuff is on, not everything, but the majority of the new shirts are all on the new LifeVantage website. And you can go over to the right and kind of click on your where it says your name at and stuff, and scroll down and you'll find it. But what I want to talk about is, and as I said, as you're coming on, if you guys are just coming on, please mute yourself, because there's some feedback with some of the people just coming on. So I'm sorry, I'm muting some people because I want to make sure this is muted. Okay, so as you look at this $79 early bird registration, I don't want you to count on this, but there's a good chance they may extend it till the 15th until we get paid. But we're not 100% sure on that. And so as of midnight, is it Saturday? It's Mountain Standard Time, right? Mountain Standard Time, which is like 2 or 3 o'clock hour, or is it our time? 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock? It's 2 o'clock our time. Okay. Mike Hinkie is registered. I like that, Mike Hinkie. So they've already had 10 times the amount of registrations at this event as they had in Denver. So our goal as a company is 4,000. Guys, look at this price. Lisa and I are going to buy 2 extra registrations. I may give them away. I may give them to some of our distributors who have not been to a LifeVantage event. But what I want to encourage you guys to do is to go and register before Saturday night. Look, you're getting everything in that price, which includes Andy Andrews. If you've read his book, The Traveler's Gift, it's one of the best reads that you'll ever get. And tonight, at the end of this call, if you keep good notes, I'm going to give away some swag. I'm going to give away 2 prizes tonight. I'll inform winners of what that is. But so I want you guys to take some notes and kind of figure out where you see yourself with this. And so one of the things I want you guys to do is register. I want you to go on by the end of Saturday night at 2 o'clock Eastern time, or whatever coast that you're on, and register. $79. Guys, it's never been like this. Okay. They want 8,000 people in Indianapolis. Okay. If you're in Ohio, there is absolutely no excuse for you guys not to be there. As Chris says, it's a 4-hour drive. Okay. So, or 4.5, however long it is, depending on where you are. Okay. So that's super exciting. If you can see the price almost doubles after on the 13th, and then at the door it goes up to $199, which is a lot more. It used to go to $89 and then $109, and now it's just going right up, which I like, because it creates behavior. And Lisa and I have never missed an event since we've been involved, and it's coming up on 7 years pretty soon. So, okay, let's move on. All right. I am going to turn this part of our call over to my wife, and she is going to talk about the Pro3 Frenzy. Now, as you guys listen to this, okay, I want you guys to think about how this will affect you. And I'm going to share one piece at the end when Lisa's done, but I want you guys, I put some pictures on the bottom down there. They gave us these bracelets that said how many new Pro3s we were going to create. Lisa and I have committed to creating 10 new Pro3s. And so I love it. You got 5. Lydia said she got 5. Drop some comments on how many you guys are going to get over there in the chat. I like that. I like being able to see what people are going to do, right? So, I'm going to turn this back over to Lisa, and I'm going to let her read kind of what we've got here on the screen, and then we'll move on to some other things. So remember to keep taking notes.
Okay. So anyways, guys, the Pro3 Frenzy promotion is totally awesome. They're giving away hard cash for becoming a Pro3 if you've not yet been a Pro3, as well as if you help others become Pro3s. The holiday season's about giving and helping one another, so that incentive is to make 2018 your best year. So we're doing this now to get a push on next year. So between now and the end of January, you can earn the cash like I said. All right, so when you make Pro3 for the first time, you get $250, like on top of your normal commissions and residual income and everything. And if you hold that rank for a second month, they're going to give you an additional $250. So that's $500 between now and January that if you make Pro3 on your own with the help of your team that's going to, help get you there, you get that additional $500. What better way to pay off the credit cards for Christmas, right? So then when you help others get to Pro3, it doesn't matter what your rank is, you're Pro3 and you help someone that you've personally enrolled get to Pro3 also, you're going to be getting money. You're going to get $500 or $250 per one, so $500 if you help 2 enrolled distributors advance to Pro3. And then when you get the 3 personals up to Pro3, you get $1,000. Is that crazy money or what?
It's awesome. It's awesome. Thanks, honey. One of the things that I really like about this promotion is that, guys, if you can copy this link down at the bottom, okay, you can go here, and this is what I've done the numbers for. If you can get 3 Pro3s and get them to Pro3, you see how much money you're going to make, okay? You will be really close to qualifying for the Bahamas trip, especially if you're a new distributor. If you enroll 5 platinum packs, which makes you at Pro3, and you get to Pro3, you're going to make it and qualify for the trip. They believe, I don't know if you guys saw it at Orlando, how many people had already qualified for the trip, and we still have all of November, all of December, and all of January, okay? I know there's a guy on this call right now that him and his daughter and his wife plan on qualifying for this trip and getting these incentives. What's really cool is one of our new personal enrollments, Ed and Led Hens, Ed watched all 21 videos that's now in your back office. And I don't know if you guys have went through and done that. If you have not, if you're a new distributor or you're a distributor who hasn't had any training or any teaching, okay, do yourself a favor. Go and log in your back office, and at the very top, there's a link for you to click training, and then go through. There's 21 videos that you can train. So nobody can make an excuse to say, hey, my upline didn't train me. That happens in this business, guys. I know this is happening because I'm training people in my group that didn't get trained by their upline. It happens all the time. So you can go right to these videos and get trained. So if you click on this link down at the bottom, or write it down, you will see that you can qualify for the Bahamas trip, and all of the Bahamas trip incentive promotions are on this link for this website. So it's lifevantage.com/promotions/Bahamas trip.
Or if you just do promotions, it'll be the Bahamas trip
Yeah.
and the Pro 3 Frenzy.
And the Pro 3 Frenzy. You can look up this and get a copy of this where it is. Okay, so let me move on here. Okay, so Lisa and I are going to talk a little bit about LifeVantage Academy. So, honey, why don't you talk about what's going on with LifeVantage Academy?
Alrighty. LifeVantage Academy is changing. It's being refined, actually, and it's going to be more specific to the local markets and your individual Pro 10 leader and above. So what's going on is we've got 3 corporate events. Elite Academy in February for Indianapolis. We've already talked about that. In Anaheim in July. And then October, we've got Global Convention in Salt Lake City. I'm getting there. Sorry. Okay, so anyways, and then in our local markets, we here under the Brandon Cunningham Pro 10 leg are going to have 2 LifeVantage Academies, okay? Some markets may have 3. Some markets are going to continue and have every month like they normally have been, okay? So Team True Blue, we're going to have 2, and it's going to be in April and in September. We don't have the exact dates just yet, but they'll probably stay with, actually, I take that back. We will stay with the 3rd Saturday of those 2 months. And locations, venues, speakers, they'll all be determined. But what we're asking is for the leaders and people that have been around that know who the presenters are, we're going to be asking for a list of who you want to come and train in your specific market. So Ohio, we're going to be looking at, Chris, Dr. Jason, everybody up there, Linda, to see who it is you want.
And but let's talk about the main 2 markets that True Blue is under. Jason and Chris we're going to create a LVA in Toledo. So that's one of our goals in 2018 in the first 6 months. I was talking to Brandon about it today. That's what we want to do. And Brandon is going to be coming there on a regular basis. So here's one of the real things I want you guys to do. I want you guys to think about this. And I want you guys to text me or email me or call me and make a comment about who you would like Pro 9s and Pro 10s to come and speak in Tampa and in Georgia. So those are our markets. Those are Lisa and I's markets. We're going to be working and focusing on those markets and building other markets. We're just going to be building a California market. We're going to be building a New Jersey market and a Minnesota market, hopefully. So what I want to talk about real quick too is December 2nd. Okay, December 2nd will be a must event for everyone in every market. We've finalized Atlanta and Tampa on December 2nd. And we're going to finalize this week one for Toledo area in Ohio. So guys, I would encourage you, we have a lot of people that aren't in our group that are on these calls. I would encourage you, if you're not having an event on December 2nd, have an event, have it at your home. This will be different than any training that you've had. Brandon and Lisa and I are on a WhatsApp group with all the elites. We're going to be coming up with a new training to get people to Pro 3 and get them these incentives that you heard Lisa talk about. So from that perspective, I want you guys to really start to think about who you want to have in your markets. And I want Pro 3s, Pro 4s, and Pro 5s to start to get in front of the room. to start
So
to.
that's the second part of the whole thing, to have, even though they're not going to be the LifeVantage Academy monthly trainings, we're going to increase the small group kind of trainings, the hot trainings, the hands-on trainings, or the how-to workshops, whatever they're exactly going to be called, to really try to promote those people. We're basically going back to the basics, okay? We gain all this knowledge, we gain all this information from LifeVantage Academy, we gain all this information from Elite Academies. These smaller group trainings are going to be more hands-on. We want the newer distributors up in the front of the room, starting to talk a little bit, start to share their story, start, you know, teaching and presenting, but to put into action the stuff that you've learned, that we've all learned, going back to blueprinting, going back to the physics of making a three-way phone call. You know, there's still some people that don't know how to actually make a three-way phone call with their phone. How do they do that? How do you download Zoom? How do you create certain accounts? So very much more interactive and hands-on, and that's what we're really excited about. It's
Absolutely.
going to be amazing.
It is going to be amazing. And there was a question, I've had some texts come in as we've been sitting here. People want to know if that's True Blue only. It is not. In those markets, it's not True Blue only. Those are just where our markets are the most consistent with True Blue. Can you guys still hear me? It said my internet is unstable.
You're
Is
on
that
the hotspot on your phone.
You're good.
are good? No, I'm not. Let's talk now about December the 7th. This is going to be a great event. We've done this numerous times. We've had as many as 200 people at these events. We're on December the 7th. We're going from 7 to 9, and here in Clearwater, we're going to broadcast it live on Zoom, which I'm going to broadcast it live on my Zoom so that it can broadcast it live on Facebook. So that way we can save it and have it for later. I will be broadcasting it on our Freedom Fighters page. So if you're not on Freedom Fighters, you need to find it. It's Freedom Fighters LifeVantage. And let me add you if you'd like to be a part of that. We're going to do a doctor's panel. It's going to be Dr. John Huey, Dr. Barbara Borland, Dr. Chad Luxembourg, and myself. So we're going to do a question and answer about each of us are going to speak differently on each of the products. So put this in your calendar, December the 7th from 7 to 9 p.m. Okay, let me go on here. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little bit of a recap now on our Orlando Elite Academy. Lisa and I really liked the format, but what was really cool is that it was very powerful because we had this 12/7 only for distributors. No, distributors and customers. You guys, that's a great question. You guys want to get your customers and distributors on that call and prospects. You want to get all of your prospects on that doctor's call because they'll be able to hear everybody ask questions. They'll be able to ask questions on the Zoom call, and we'll begin to answer those. Okay. So I don't know what Kay's number is. Kay,
I got it.
Can you unmute yourself so that I can hear you? I don't know if you've done that yet. What is her number?
It ends in 5753.
Okay,
There it is.
unmuting. Kay, can you talk? I unmuted you.
I'm here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Awesome. Yes, I
Yep.
can. Awesome. So
Okay, great.
I'm going to have these three people speak a little bit about their experience and tell her story. So, Kay, just 2 to 3 minutes. Just tell people who you are. Obviously, she's a Pro 1 from Dunedin, Florida. Just take 2 to 3 minutes and talk about who you are and one or two takeaways from our Orlando Elite Academy. Thanks. The floor is yours.
Okay, so real quick, I'm Kay, and I met LifeVantage through my pacemaker nurse. I ended up having massive open heart surgery this year due to birth defects. And anyhow, so my pacemaker nurse, Rebecca O'Byrne, is a LifeVantage distributor, Then she tells me about this other woman named Lisa that also is very into LifeVantage and Protandim. That's Lisa Huey. Lisa Huey was my pre-op nurse. Then Lisa Huey tells me my surgeon, the guy that had his hands in my chest, is also a Protandim user. So that's the way I came to know about LifeVantage. And I'm just very excited about the products. Very quickly, I tried to get very succinct, and I came up with like 18 bullet points to share, but I know we don't have time for that. So let me just break it down to a couple. The number one thing that stuck in my mind that I heard during Elite Academy over the weekend was someone made the comment, it might have been John Maxwell, what are you doing to grow others today? I thought that was such an important quote. It was kind of a titanic shift for me. I love that. It's a new way to pray. It's a new way to think. Secondarily to that is he made a comment that we are supposed to leave footprints in the sand, not butt prints. And I thought that's really neat. And those two concepts go well together because they're both action oriented. The second thing that I wanted to share was a quote from our own beloved Brandon Cunningham. And he made the comment, he said, those that play it safe in life end up safe, but never really happy. And that was very challenging and evocative for me. And then the third thing I want to share was it was galvanizing to be among 4,000 people that are taking a chance on themselves, that are I thought this is like the old pioneer days when North America was being settled. And it's just exciting. It's invigorating. It's hope-filled to be around that many people that are taking a chance on themselves. And I don't mean hopeful. Hopeful to me is a word that has a connotation of dreaming upon a star, but hope-filled. You have hope, and it's based on specific facts and actions. And that was very impactful to me. So, and the last thing that I'll share that I took away from the weekend was when we talk about success, that's all about me. But when we talk about significance, that's all about others. And I thought that was, again, very titanic and shifting. And I'm really excited about the John Maxwell course that's coming up that he shared with us. And I'm looking forward to starting on that.
Okay, can you repeat that last one real cool? I like that. What was that last quote? Can you repeat
Success is all about me, but significance is all about others.
Awesome. I like that.
Oh, and one last comment that I wanted to share that I heard.
Go ahead.
Everything worth having is uphill.
That's absolutely. You know, one of the things I took away from that course was John Maxwell said, most people have uphill thoughts with downhill habits. And so hopefully we can reverse that. Kay, thank you so much for sharing. It was really a pleasure to have you with us in Orlando. And I'm looking forward to building this business with you in the coming years and changing a lot of lives. So thank you for sharing.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Next, and if you can, I know she is on here. I saw her earlier. Wendy, can you, wait a minute, I'll unmute you. Okay. Wendy, are you there? Oh, you're talking and I can't hear you. That sounds, who's laughing? Wendy, you're going to have, Wendy, we can't hear you. You're going to have to log out and log back in. All right. Log out and log back in. Okay. All right. So good. That was bizarre. That was bizarre. Everybody was laughing. It was just kind of funny. So we'll skip to Dr. John. Let me unlock Dr. John here. Somebody made a comment. I don't know what they said. That's really funny. Ivy was laughing too. Okay, let me find Dr. John and unmute Dr. John here. There you are. Okay. Unmute and
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Dr. John Huey.
Okay, Dr.
You guys,
Wendy's back on, but I think that was the greatest Smurf imitation I've ever heard in my life.
Dude, how funny was that, John? That was really funny. So before John goes, I just want to say one thing. I want to, I've learned that I want to live a life of encouragement. And so I just want to say some encouragement things that I talked about. I just signed up a customer on Activated Essentials probably about 30 minutes ago. And it was a guy that had been following LifeVantage for, 7 years. And he added me on Facebook. He found me on Facebook, and his name is Greg Davis. And he asked me, about personal development and asking about growth. And I wanted to just encourage John. I kind of sprung things on John last night. I usually let him start the meetings at his office, and he ended it. And I just want to encourage you, John. Lisa and I were really touched by what you said last night about the importance of really working this now and treating it like a business. And we've learned that we can't want this more for people than they want it for themselves. But I feel like as we're going through this now and people are starting to understand this, like this guy, Greg Davis, he said, Mike, I've researched every company. He said, every product, everything. He said, I'm like a network marketing junkie, he said. Lisa and I were laughing. And I'm just going to say this. I feel he'll be a distributor in our group. Lisa and I feel that we're going to enroll many people on social media. If you haven't learned how to do social media, you need to learn, and you can take courses. I'm going to start in the next couple months, I'm going to build some social media platforms and some stuff where you guys can learn how to connect, what we do to connect. I'm going to have some courses that you can take. And so, Dr. John, thank you for being my friend. Thank you for helping Lisa and I with our health. John is a chiropractor here in Tarpon Springs, Florida, but he lives in Palm Harbor. So, John, I'm going to let you take it over. Thanks for all you do, brother.
Well, thank you for the kind words. Good evening, everyone. I thought it was a wonderful weekend last week in Orlando. Kay, I just wanted to add a couple of things to your thought there. As far as taking a chance on yourself, it's not so much taking a chance on yourself. I think it's more building your own personal development and ultimately improving and expanding our capabilities. That's going to happen with this process, and it's always wonderful to see people who are very meek and mild-tempered end up getting on stage and talking and really presenting in a very dynamic fashion. The other thing I wanted to say is that this is going to happen. It's happening now, but it's going to happen with or without us. So those that are listening, I certainly want you to continue and keep that in mind, that you don't want to be looking back in 2-3 years when the critical mass hits with all this information and think, well, geez, maybe I should have done more. I could have done more. That won't be the position you want to be in. So just chunk it down, baby steps. I've been doing that myself right now, setting up my war room here in my second floor of the house, and just taking action each and every day, I think is crucial. My takeaway from the talk itself, from the seminar this weekend, not so much a single moment or a single phrase, although there are fantastic phrases from all the different speakers and fantastic bits of information there, but just the overall sense that where the company's headed. They've done a tremendous amount of work getting, for example, the Chinese program going. For those of you who haven't done business in other countries, it is sometimes impossible to get anything done in a year or 2 or 3 years, especially in the Far East. So what they've done in a short period of time is nothing more than spectacular, nothing less than spectacular, I should say. So keep in mind that we're involved in a company that gets it, from how they're managing the social media, how they're enabling us to get on our sites and do things efficiently and smoothly, to what they're doing in the Far East is pretty impressive. And I just wanted to give everybody that my take on that.
Awesome. One of the things, and I really like this, and I know that John and I agree on this, because, what John and I find, because John and I have done conferences and stuff together, and we're out in the field, and we find that people still don't know anything about what we're doing. And this term biohacking and this term nutrigenomics, Lisa said we're a nutrigenomic biohacker. She said that's our new, how did you say it, honey? You said that's our new
occupation.
Our new occupation.
Nutrigenomic biohacker.
We're a nutrigenomic biohacker. It sounds good, right, John? It's pretty cool, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so, John, thank you so much for sharing. I'm excited to watch as you and I and everybody else on this line grows through this, as it happens to become a $500 million and $1 billion and a multi-billion-dollar company. And we get to make an impact in a lot of people's lives. So Thank you for sharing tonight. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay, so Wendy, did you make it back on?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah,
There we
you don't
go.
sound like a mouse anymore. That was so fun. It was so fun.
Sounded like you were on helium and speed combined.
At first I thought you were it reminded me of the guy on Snoopy and Linus. Like the teacher goes, "Wah, wah, 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 wah," and you were just like, wee, 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 like a little mouse. So, guys, Wendy Hill is a Pro 3 from Villa Rica, Georgia. She's one of our dearest friends. I'm excited because I'm going to be up there in December the 2nd in Georgia. Wendy is one of the new leaders there, and I think you guys will get to know Wendy as you go along because she's brought in some really awesome people. And so, Wendy, I'm going to let you share. Honey, go ahead. Have at it.
Okay, thanks. Well, I kind of looked at this weekend differently because I walked away with so much, as I always do. So I thought, well, let me handle it this way. I kind of wanted to just say that I find it so valuable to go to these conferences, and people who are wondering if they should go. Some of the reasons why you need to go is because when you go, you get to hear from Darren Jensen, Ryan Goodwin, Justin Rose, and all other staff members. We get to hear from the elite leaders. We hear their stories, and they give us helpful training. We get awesome science information. We get trained on new technology, and they make sure we understand it. We get leadership training, and we get awesome leadership training from some awesome speakers. They teach us on social media. We get introduced to new products, and they educate us on it. They encourage us and give us business tips. We go through personal growth while we're there. They have recognition, incentives. The weekend is just full of it. We got the LV store. They sell awesome items and merchandise. We get to fellowship at lunch and at dinner. We meet new people. We make new friends. We laugh. We cry. We pray. We encourage one another, and we have fun. We're just like a big family when we're there, and you can't get this unless you attend. So it's very important because that's where you're going to get something that you can't get anywhere else. So I took a lot away from going this weekend, Mike, including more personal growth.
Awesome. So why don't you do this before we go? Because so here's what I'm going to do. If you guys have a pencil and a piece of paper, you're going to or if you want to do this, pull up your chat box, and I'm going to go over a couple things that we're taking notes from. So, Wendy, thank you so much for sharing. Thanks for your heart. I'm so impressed in what you just said, the importance of events and everything that you took away from. Wow. I hope you guys can see how much of a leader that Wendy has become. And Wendy, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, okay, so here's what we're going to do. I have 10 questions here that I'm going to ask of things that were talked about, okay? And so here we go. Number one, and there's 3 answers to this one, so you have to get them all right. What were the prices that it cost to enroll to register for the Indianapolis Elite Academy? There's 3 prices. Okay, write those down. Question number 2. I'm going to give away 2 prizes at the end, so please take part. Don't leave. Number 2, who is our speaker? Who's going to be our speaker, our guest speaker in Indianapolis? What is the date? What is the date that you guys keep track of these, because I want to see how many of them you get, okay? What is the date that you have to register for Indiana by? Okay? What is the date that you have to register Indiana by? Okay? Number 4, what is the price, the 3 prizes and money, 3 amount of money that you can make in the Pro 3 Frenzy? There's 3 different amounts that you can make. Okay. And then tell me number 5, what 2 months are what 2 months are we going to have LifeVantage Academy for Team True Blue? Okay. Number C. What months are we having Elite Academy in? Okay. There's Elite Academies and Convention. There's 3 events, corporate events next year. What months are those in? Question number 7, what 3 cities are those events in? What 3 cities are those events in? Number 8, this was mentioned by Kay. Kay, how did Kay find out about LifeVantage? Through a friend of hers. Who was that person? Okay. And then Dr. John said this. LifeVantage is going to happen. You fill in the blank. LifeVantage is going to happen. You fill in the blank. And then the last question, number 10, is who was our speaker in Orlando, our guest speaker on leadership development? Okay. So I want to know how many of them you got right. Let's go over the answers real quick. Okay. The first question was 79, 149, and 199. I thought, right?
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. Okay. And then our speaker is going to be Andy Andrews.
Right.
Okay. November 12th is number 3. Number 4 is 250, 500, and 1,000.
Right.
April and September are our LifeVantage Academies. That's number 5. Number 6 is February, July, and October.
Yes.
And those, number 7 is Indy, Anaheim, and Salt Lake. And then Kay was introduced to this by her pacemaker nurse.
Right.
Dr. John said it's going to happen with or without us.
Right.
And then our number 10, our leadership development coach, was Dr. John C. Maxwell. So tell me how many you got right. Post down in there in the comment box how many you got right. And then I'm going to do a little drawing, and then I'll contact you guys depending on how many people we got. So, okay, Mike Hinkie, you got 10 right. Jeff, you got 10 right. Okay, anybody else? Maria, you got 10 right.
Right there, love.
What's that?
Looks like,
I got 10 right too.
Who got 10 right?
Dee Dee.
Hey, Dee Dee. All right, good. Dee Dee.
Hi.
Maria, I don't see your last name on here. Can you unmute? Oh, okay. All right. Okay, so anybody else get 10? We have Jeff, Mike Hinkie, Maria. Chris, you didn't get 10. Chris got 9. Wow. I thought for sure you'd get 10, my brother. All right. Jeremy, how many did you get? You got 8? Okay, good. Awesome. All right.
I got 9.
Kay got 9. Okay, good. All right. So, guys, thank you so much for being on the call.